This video is brought to you by War Thunder, the most comprehensive vehicle combat game. Oh dear God, why does this keep happening? Oh please, no, just leave me alone. Oh my God, no. Hello people, yes, that's me. We're playing Resident Evil 7 to prove that this is the most terrifying game in the franchise and that it destroyed the franchise to save it. And joining me in this is going to be a special character. He's definitely unique.
Hello, my friend. My name is Haris from Bosnia. Today I will play Counter-Strike. What do you mean, no? Resident Evil. Why is evil in the name?
So yes, we're going into this together to survive the house, to survive the family, and to figure out why it is the most terrifying Resident Evil in the franchise. This is
hello.
Resident Evil 7.
Hello, my friend. Hello. What is good?
Before we jump into RE7, let's talk numbers. The Steam player count for this game has spiked hard recently, and sales have actually been higher than the past few months and even the last few years. Why? One simple reason. RE9. The reveal of RE9 made it clear that Capcom's doubling down on going pure horror as opposed to what they did with RE8. I even got to playtest it at Gamescom in Germany. Now, I couldn't record gameplay, but trust me, the lines were so long, people would rather shit and piss themselves than leave their spot. Like, I'm not even kidding. People genuinely would rather do that. And the lines were massive, but because I had a content creator pass, it was easier to get in. Hype for another terrifying Resident Evil has shot through the roof, and players are diving back into RE7 either to catch up or to brace themselves for RE9. And if RE9 is as terrifying as it looks, maybe even more than RE7, who knows, we'll have to wait and see, then yeah, that would explain the huge resurgence. But for now, it's our turn. Let's see what's pulling everybody back into this nightmare. Is RE7 really that terrifying? Well, it all begins with a message. Resident Evil 7 starts off like every horror game ever. Our wife is missing and emails us after 3 years and asks us to find her. So we say, fuck it, baby, we ballin' and drive straight to Louisiana to find her.
Hello, my friend. We're going to Louisiana, yes? You want cigarette? No? Okay.
This is Ethan Winters. He's a normal guy. He's not a cop, not a mercenary, doesn't know any kung fu. He's just a normal dude who's missing his wife, he's missing his head, and potentially a hand. Pretty sure Tinder would have been safer than this, but here we are, I guess. Motherfucking mosquitoes. Ugh. Okay, Ethan, listen. Gate is locked and there is sketchy path on the side, so you know what to do. Leave?
No, you fucking idiot. No, we go the sketchy way, my friend.
Well, he's not wrong. The gate may be locked, but it does force us to explore the area further, which instantly builds tension, especially when a bulky big man passes by us.
Oh, look. You can already see him. Oh, that's cool. Also, why is there a bunch of goat feet and shit? Whoa, what is this? I think I may have stepped in something. Hello, Ethan. Maybe you should turn around. There is something very obvious behind you. I mean, literally, look, there is smoke coming from it. I'm pretty sure this is important for the game.
That's her purse. Why is it just sitting here?
I don't know, Ethan. Maybe she forgot it, or maybe she was kidnapped. I don't know.
Why the purse is here, we don't know, but it doesn't really matter, because now we can actually enter the house itself.
Yeah, but okay, no more fucking around, Ethan. You need to find a weapon for you too, because, sorry, but I'm not defending you.
The tone immediately shifts into something that's a bit closer to the game PT than Resident Evil 6. Everything smells off and looks honestly fucking disgusting.
I mean, I'll be honest. It did kind of stink. It was very disgusting, but no problem. I mean, it is not fun, but what you can do, you know? You're stuck in America. What am I supposed to do?
It's like a scene straight out of Hoarders. And this scenery, compared to other RE games, is also much more grotesque, as most of the entries are, well, somewhat gory, but in a different, less disgusting and visceral way, because they're zombie games, so there will be some gore, but it's not the same as this. This feels more real. The disgust is something more human. Is this a picture of Mia?
Oh, Vidi, you got sexy girlfriend. No wonder you want to come to save her.
Shut the fuck up, Haris. We also quickly go upstairs after finding a VHS player that we couldn't use. And upstairs we find the cassette for it. What do you think is on the tape?
Ethan, it's probably a film of a bunch of furries. Or maybe a football match. Who knows? Let's watch.
Well, the tape contains something very specific. It seems to be recordings from a group of amateur horror producers trying to capture footage for their ghost hunting show.
Just don't be surprised if we have to make a change.
Obviously, the game hates us, so we get to take control and play as the ghost hunting crew, entering the same house that we did. However, they get a little bit more screwed up than us. One disappears, one dies, and there's literally a scene straight out of the Blair Witch in the basement. So what do we learn from this? Well, we do actually figure out how to reach the basement with Ethan himself, though I don't understand why any man would venture down there willingly. But hey man, Ethan's got mega massive balls, so why am I even questioning it? So, I gotta go down there, huh? Yeah, what's the problem? It won't hurt you. Just go in, my friend. Oh, dear God. Oh, why? Why'd you push me? Ah, you're okay. Don't worry. As Ethan descends into what can only be described as a shithole, the walls are filled with a mix of distraught drawings and flickering lights, and for whatever reason, there's bodies in the water supply. Whoa. Sup? Wait, there's a light down here. It's her. She's inside. But I think we need something to get rid of this. Ooh, box cutters. Honey, I've been...
Did you sleep with my best friend, Jenny?
No, I didn't sleep with your best friend, Jenny.
I know you did.
The fuck are you talking about, bitch? Mia is alive and seems somewhat terrified, but her actions are a bit strange. See, we just nod and follow her deeper into the house. Not that I would understand the reasoning behind it, but shut the fuck up. I haven't hit in like 3 months. I need this. Since she's like not feeling good, I just thought, fuck it. We might as well just explore a little bit. And that's when we end up finding the creepy doll version of her, which just looks terrifying. Before she screams and gets kidnapped. Or disappears, I don't even know. Well, she's probably upstairs, which means we should probably... Did this door just open on its own? Nope. 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 I'm just gonna turn around. I'm going home. I'm going home. I mean, logically, I would have just turned around here if it was just my choice, but unfortunately, it isn't. It's up to Ethan. So we end up going upstairs, but I don't find any way out, so I have to go back again downstairs when we see this. Oh, hi, honey. Whoa! Your breath smells nice. Babe, please, let's talk about this in therapy. This entire sequence is actually genuinely terrifying and incredibly sad if you think about it. I mean, Ethan just axed the love of his life. And the worst part is, we're not even halfway done with this shit.
Hello, who this? Why you call at this hour? It's too late to be calling people.
Yes, hello, we're calling about your car's extended warranty, about the ute outside.
No, I do not need the free warranty on my car. Thank you.
But sir...
Zoe is on the other line, and she sounds like our only ticket out of here. So we take her advice for now, even though we aren't sure we can trust her.
My name's Zoe. There should be a way out through the attic.
Attic.
Go there. Now.
To open the attic, we need to first open a cupboard, find a power cell, use that to turn on this button on the top, and once we've done this, we should be able to get out of here. Except... Oh, hi, honey, I thought we could... Oh, dear God! I'm simply going to ignore the fact that you've tried to kill me several times, because you're still kind of hot.
Listen, I will be honest. This situation between two of them is kind of very strange, because normally in games, you don't get to... I don't know, watch your wife cut your hand off and do fucked up things to you. I mean, if you go to Bosnia, that is standard practice between wife and husband. But in America, I think this is a little bit too much. But that is basically what we're seeing. We're seeing a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah. The reason it's complicated is because our girlfriend just sawed our hand off and we have no way of escaping from her here. So, what do? Slap some flex tape on that bitch and call it a day. I mean, what else can we do? Luckily, we find a pistol that doesn't belong to our Eastern European friend and rush up into the attic for a mini boss fight against Mia. If it wasn't clear from the jump scare earlier, she's definitely not herself and might have been hitting that devil's lettuce. It's actually one of the most intense early fights in the franchise, I would say, because it feels genuinely terrifying. This is not us fighting some bioengineered zombie. This is a person. It feels more real because she is real. I mean, a person that's probably on crack, but still. Alright, bitch is dead, and so are our expectations of this being an action-heavy game. I mean, the fight wasn't hard or anything. I mean, it's not because I'm totally playing the game on easy mode, but for the most part, the combat feels rigid. But I'm going to ignore that because it doesn't serve my agenda about this game.
Ah, now she's dead. Very, very tragic. Either way.
And right as we think we're done with domestic violence, the Louisiana slugger deep-throats Ethan's face.
Ah, he punches just like my father.
Welcome to the Baker family home. Population 4. Well, 3.5. We don't really count Grandma. I mean, she's already halfway to the morgue anyways. Now, this twisted family is arguably more disturbing than any of the enemies from other Resident Evil games. They feel more human and regular, which is what kind of makes them more terrifying. I mean, they reach that uncanny valley effect where they feel real, but not at the same time. And in our real world, it's not boogie monsters that can hurt us. It's often other humans that are the monsters. The Baker family dinner is also the introduction to our boss battles, because obviously, Jack is the handsome devil shoving his fist right down our throat, Lucas, who most definitely has a crack addiction, and Marguerite, who honestly just looks Belgian.
Hey, hello, you don't need to insult Belgian people. Not all of them are... Well, actually, maybe they are, but it's besides the point. Listen, hello, this place... It's a little bit strange, right? I mean, obviously, we've seen the dirty sinks, the bathroom. I tried to take a shower, didn't go so well. But overall, the atmosphere is very different from Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 5. Because both those games, they're great. Resident Evil 4, fantastic game. You get to kill European villagers. I mean, who does not like that? But there is a difference. This game, it feels stranger. It feels more disturbing. And the way I can only describe that is, look at these people. They look all sorts of fucked up.
What actually sets this apart from other Resident Evil villains is, again, their humanity and their believability. They don't feel like some crazy group of super soldiers and secret agents. They feel like real people. When we do get set free, we know for a fact that these fuckers are still going to be lurking around every corner.
Oh, hello. This is day 2 of being inside the Resident Evil house. So far, no bread. No signal for telephone, and also, surprisingly, no war crimes committed just yet. But I will be honest, it kind of reminds me of summer in Zenith side. It's not that bad. No, Papa, no! Oh!
Better than that, boy.
Yes, maybe you don't enjoy being ambushed like this, but how about instead checking out today's sponsor, War Thunder?
Yes, this nightmare is sponsored by War Thunder, the free-to-play vehicle combat game on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and on your mobile. But unlike the Baker family, the tanks here only try to kill you in the normal way. AKA, War Thunder has over 2,500 vehicles, tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships, from goofy 1920s armored cars to modern jets. Basically, if it can explode, you can probably drive it into a tree here. But that's not all. The details in this game are insane. Every shot can blow out engines, ammo racks, or even fuel tanks, and you even get an X-ray kill cam showing you exactly how you shot and ruined someone's day. It's like Resident Evil Dismemberment, but with tanks. And that's not all. There's a mode for everyone. Quick arcade battles, hardcore simulator, or my favorite, cover your tank in anime decals. Nobody takes you seriously, then wipe out the floor with them. And yes, there's a full mobile version so you can cause international incidents while waiting at the dentist. It is a fantastic game that brings you straight into combat in the most visceral way. But if you guys use my link in the pinned comment down below and the description to sign up right now, both new players and returning players who haven't played for about 6 months will get a bonus pack, multiple premium vehicles, get the exclusive Eagle of Valor decal, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium. And this bonus is available for both PC and console players alike. It's limited time only, so grab it before Evelyn finds out. And check it out all down below in my description. Now, back to my horrible in-laws. Ah, shit, my hand's all messed up. And where the fuck is that bitch Mia? Jack is basically like Nemesis, if Nemesis was a 6'2" alcoholic dad with anger issues from Louisiana. Basically, as much as Nemesis is a terrifying enemy, I do think a big Louisiana man may or may not be slightly more terrifying than a bioengineered weapon. I mean, again, Nemesis is cool, but Jack is cooler. How the fuck do we leave this place? Hadis, explain!
Shh! Ethan, shut up! I don't want you to lead him to me! Stay away from me! It's your problem, not mine!
Well, since they can't explain it, I will. So, first of all, we need to basically juke Jack around the corners to get away from him. If we do this, we can find a key that will open a hatch in one of the cupboard rooms. Down here, we can eventually emerge into a save room where we can, of course, save and talk to Zoe, who gives us further details. However, we need a specific piece to open our way into the main hallway. But before that, we run into someone else.
Oh, police! Hello, Polizia, please help me. There is a big, strong Louisiana man who wants to sell me crack cocaine. Please help.
Hey, over here. Sir, do you live here? I mean, is this your property?
The officer isn't of much help, but he does hand us a pocket knife.
All you give me is a knife. I mean, it looks a little bit like Falche knife from Counter-Strike, so it's okay, but really, knife. This is it. Okay.
Oh, hey, officer, my bad for being late. I was playing Valor. Oh, my fucking God! He's fine.
You see, the reason this battle is difficult, it is not because it is, well, obviously you have to run around and deal with very angry men, but it is the car. I will be honest, man. It's American car. No wonder it cannot kill a man in one hit. If you want to kill a man in one hit, you need something from Yugoslavia or Soviet Union. Either of those, Lada, Yugo, one hit, one shot, I guarantee.
This fight is our first real challenge in the game, and up until now, everything has been mostly atmospheric, but this is a little bit of an intense battle to say the least. Mostly, we just have to use our pistol to kind of stun him while we juke the shit out of him and grab the keys for his car. This is needed because that's the only way we can actually take him out. However, there are two scenarios that can happen when we do open the car. Either we get in, or Jack does. After beating the shit out of him in a quick jump scare with Jack loading a nice chunk of lead into his own head, we find the ox-shaped puzzle piece that we needed to enter the main hall. Alright, this is it. So this is where the game finally opens up into the regular Resident Evil hub. You got locked doors, elaborate puzzles, save rooms. It's the classic formula. Except here, the tension never really drops. Also, something interesting you can find here is an article written by Alyssa Ashcroft. And yes, that is the name of one of the characters from Resident Evil 9 Requiem. The game which, I mean, honestly, it's kind of crazy that they essentially hinted at RE9 in some way this far back. Alyssa is a character from Outbreak, but she also shows up in Resident Evil 9 Requiem, which I played at Gamescom, the demo of, and that game looks terrifying. Very much has the identity of RE7 in it, or PT in that sort of game. It is genuinely terrifying, so it's cool to see that they're taking something that they essentially hinted at this far back and actually putting it in here, which I think is really just such a cool little detail.
Yes, I like it inside of here. It's very nice. Very cozy compared to outside of this room. But I'm a little confused. What is up with old woman? Like everyone else a little fucked up, but she just sit here like comatose. Hello, Baba! Are you alive? Are you okay? I think she may be dead already. Hello. Somebody bring ambulance.
Zoe is our only connection to any sort of normalcy or in safety. She's still being vague, but unlike Mia, who wants to chop our dick off, at least she's trying to help. She tells us we'll need to get out of the house, but to do that, well, we need to find a bunch of different items, which, well, that's gonna be easier said than done. What if I just go out the window?
Ethan, my friend, that might be actually the smartest thing you've ever said. And that's not even exaggerating.
Well, now we have to figure out where to actually go. We find a clock pendulum on a side table, which we can use on the grandfather clock to open a hidden panel. Then we have to figure out the dog puzzle. Well, see, that's one dog head, but we need 3, because this house is locked from the inside by a ceramic Cerberus puzzle. The actual dog that guards the gates of hell, by the way. So you can only assume what's behind this thing, given that implication and subtle storytelling. And that kind of is what makes RE7 kind of terrifying. This house itself feels like a trap designed to waste time until something kills us, which is, again, okay, and that's kind of what makes it more terrifying than most games. We also find what seems to be another VHS tape, this one labeled Mia. I don't know if I want to watch this, dude.
I'm gonna bring out my weapon, because last time you watched one of these videos, I know what happened. We ended up in basement and almost got destroyed, so I'm not going to take the risk.
As we put the tape in, we transition to Mia's POV. Now that we're controlling her, we're also barefoot, so I think a lot of you foot guys are going to be happy about that. But we're running, and we're filming her escape because, as you know, the cameraman never dies. Except when the guy from the Gator crew died much earlier, but I digress. Also, how is she holding the camera so steady? It makes no fucking sense. Not even I can do that.
Oh, this is so much worse. Listen, I know Jack, he is bad, but Marguerite, the Belgian looking, sorry, you know what I mean. The woman that is very scary. Thing is, she is so much worse. She's like a babushka when you steals the pie from the oven too early. You know, she tell you not to do it, but you do it anyway. And, you know, then she get angry and beat the shit out of you with a papucha or what you guys call flip-flop. Basically, don't fuck with her. She is complicated.
As we run around, we have to solve a lamp puzzle and crawl through a narrow tunnel, but to do this to begin with, we have to actually juke the shit out of Margaret and get past her. And the thing about this place is, and this specific section, is that it's by far the most unnerving one. Jack talks a lot and feels a little less scary due to the I don't know, half the shit he says is just goofy punchlines. However, Margaret is more quiet, and when she does make noise or noises, she tends to be a little bit more fucked up and terrifying. And then we see this. It's a blurry photo. Mia with someone else's kid. We don't get to ask questions though because Margaret grabs her anyway.
Oh, Ethan. I think that photo, I'm going to be honest, that might be her doing devil tango with other man.
Now we get access to a lot more items. There's also these antique coins and random supplies, but the antique coins can be used to specifically unlock things later down the line, so it's worth looking for them if you have the time, if you're not getting shafted by Jack or someone else. However, the coins, again, they're useful, but we don't need them just yet. For now, we have to figure out our items. See, managing items is half the game in really any Resident Evil game. You want to play on hard mode? Well, if you do that, you're gonna have barely any inventory space, so good luck remembering which key opens what, and that's also kind of the fun of the game, right? If you do play at harder difficulty, having less inventory space is gonna make the experience, extra levels of spicy.
We find a wooden statue which we can use to unlock a secret passage, but before we can do that, of course, straight out of his grave, we see Jack Baker. I mean, how the fuck is this guy still alive? I don't get it, but after blowing his head out, he's returned, and if we get around him really quickly here, we just have to sort of run around in circles until he loses us long enough, we can eventually get through this hallway and reach something slightly more interesting. These cum monsters are an enemy type that feels almost tacked on. It's as if they forgot to create a better enemy type and couldn't use zombies, which are scarier due to the human element of them. That is the same reason Jack and his entire family are so terrifying, because they feel more real and uncanny at times, but these jizz things, they're not that scary. I mean, they're a little annoying, but they're not that scary as Jack or anyone else. Then we find another save room and also enter the basement finally, which is kind of where the game slows down heavily, I would say.
Okay, listen, besides the black monsters, what exactly is going on with this house? I feel like I've gone in circle here, this exact location several times. Am I stuck in labyrinth or what is going on?
I mean, to be honest, yeah, it is a bit claustrophobic in this area, and that's kind of what adds a little to the fear and makes it a little bit more terrifying going around every corner. The entire basement feels kind of like a maze. There's long halls, repeating rooms, and by the third molded, I started missing Jack hunting me around the bathroom upstairs. But that's fine, because eventually we do find some key items and a corpse drawer puzzle that we have to solve, where we just pull out a bunch of bodies until a molded falls out. I think the morgue puzzle is actually pretty clever, and for a second, the momentum starts to pick up again. But if you thought things were about to chill the fuck out, nope, because as soon as we go into this one area, who is here besides our favorite friend? It's Jack. But that's fine, because listen, once we go downstairs and we find the... never mind, he's here again. And suddenly he just has to, curb stomp us straight down into an area that makes me kind of wonder, whoever designed this place must have been like Dexter from the show Dexter, because who else designs a house like a murder house? It seems a little strange from an architectural standpoint. This second fight against Jack is way better, okay? I mean, it's simple still, I'm gonna be honest, but you get a chainsaw duel against him. You can try to just stab him with your knife repeatedly, as it is possible to beat him that way. Of course, that's not the most effective way though. And if you want to stun him for a second, you can throw the meat corpses, but if you do it too many times, he's gonna cut those into pieces as well. So it's best to try to just stab him a few times, back off, then go in and stab him a few times again.
Ethan, hello, Ethan, listen. I believe in you. I'm not going to come in to help you, but that's fine. I believe you can do this. Come on, my friend. Come on, you got this.
This fight is honestly why RE7 is again terrifying. It takes something goofy like a chainsaw duel and still makes it somewhat brutal and dirty and way too close to real violence because, I mean, look at this shit. We're literally pushing meat corpses at him, and even the guy himself, he's just grotesque. We finally put Jack down. For now. But the damage is done. My ammo is gone, we're also bleeding, and we've still got half the house left to explore, so you already know where this is going. As we return upstairs to the main hall... Wait... It's her again. Grandma, you still just chilling here?
Oh, hello. How did Babushka get here? No. Don't fuck with me. How did Babushka get here? She was upstairs. She's invalid. No way she can come up, down like this. I did not see any accessibility, elevator or anything in this house. Also, I don't think they can even install it here. This is too old. But how is she here? Hello? You're not going to explain? I do not trust her.
Using the last key item that we found, we can open the door and step outside for some fresh Louisiana air. Outside, we will find a trailer which we can enter. Inside of it, this is our new save zone, or our safe area where we can just relax and chill for a minute. However, the place is filled with all manner of weird shit. I mean, first of all, there is a steroid dispensing antique coin machine, which, I mean, that's where our coin can be used for if we really want to. There's also weapons that you can pick up here. However, most of them are pretty expensive and not worth it, as the ammo amount for them is going to be limited. We also hear the phone calling, and it's Zoe telling us that apparently we need to run her an errand. Why do we have to do this? Well, we need to make an antidote to fix the family. Apparently, they weren't always fucked up hillbillies that were chopping each other's dicks off, but apparently she has a solution for that. We need another piece to the puzzle, a second ingredient to the one we already have.
Oh, Zoe, I'm getting so sick of her. Why is she always asking us to do all the difficult stuff? Why is she never doing it? It's always, Ethan do this, Ethan do that, Ethan go here, Ethan go there. Hello, woman, do something yourself. Why it's always us? It does not matter. I will say though, this building, this car house, I don't know what to call, it's pretty good. Okay, you have these items you can get out of these cages, and I mean, you can get a little bit of, I think, steroids if you are into it. You know, Harris likes to build muscle too. But otherwise, the thing I like about it is, just like in other Resident Evil, the way they balance the game, to instead of giving you crazy weapon from beginning, they make you do exploration to find coin, and then you use coin to get the weapon. So it's good. If you do not do exploration like me, if you're very fast, you try to go through quickly, you're not gonna end up finding coins. But if you take your time to explore, you get the coins and you get the weapon you want, my friend.
Well, yeah, he's right. RE7 is still a survival horror game, and besides, of course, Zoe wanting us to go out and hunt for stuff, we do need to get some upgrades, and locking these upgrades behind exploration is only the perfect fitting thing you can do for a game like this. But now we have to go explore further. This is 10 times worse and 10 times more terrifying than the things we saw inside the Baker house itself. This place is disgusting. There's bugs, flamethrowers, and the most terrifying woman in the entire franchise of Resident Evil, according to my standards.
Oh, Ethan! Ethan, hello, Ethan. What are these dolls? I don't like this. Why are there so many dolls here? Ethan, please, hello. Help me out.
Now that we're inside, the tone shifts completely. The Baker home felt very claustrophobic, sure, but this house feels alive in the worst possible way. Right away, the first thing that freaks me out about this place is bugs. Fucking hate bugs, okay? Bugs are disgusting. And we're dealing with a different kind of threat now. These insects are just horrible. They've got nests, they've got swarms and hives, they will come after us. These bugs will block the path for us, so we have to search for items constantly. Progress in this house is very much puzzle-based, with locked doors, burned nests, and also item gathering. Feels like a throwback to very much, again, the classic Resident Evil games, so at least that stays true. Except everything is just moldy, and we need a shit ton of bug spray. But luckily, we discover a broken flamethrower.
Ah, flamethrower. I think they use those in Rambo 1, 2, and 3. What am I mistaking it? I'm not sure, but it's a good weapon though. Very nice.
They're also what makes up the entire fucking walls in this place. You either deal with them or you don't progress, so we gotta burn the shit out of them. In the basement, we see Lucas kidnapping Mia, which in itself is another problem we need to deal with. But now we have to deal with arguably the most terrifying character in this entire game, that being Marguerite. Yes, she is the owner of this establishment, and we have to deal with her bugs and disgusting, just all kinds of stuff. Now, this is actually where you can kind of tell that there are sort of three types of, let's say, horror in this game. The first one would be Jack, right? Jack was essentially the embodiment of the slasher movie, right? The slasher horror type genre. But then Margaret here, she represents another type of horror. That specifically being body horror. Anything essentially Cronenberg, that direction is what she represents. And then of course there is Lucas, who we'll encounter much later, but he represents psychological horror. So it's kind of cool to see how they use all these different genres mixed into one for this specific game. And it shows, because holy shit, is she terrifying. But eventually, though, we do find what we're looking for. See, we need to get our hands on a key to enter the crow room, but she will encounter us and throw us down a pit. Here, we can try to escape and she'll fill up a giant hole, but then, once we go upstairs, we will realize, oh, we're missing a lantern, and this lantern is the one that she was using, but once we follow her, we'll see her booty, and she's turned into a spider, which... yeah, it's a bit fucked up.
Ethan, I don't want to deal with this, please. This is your problem, not mine.
The boss fight against her is pretty straightforward. She'll jump down from the ceiling and attack us out of nowhere. We just need to aim for her, well, her nether regions, let's call it like that. Excuse me, miss, I think your ballsack is showing. And that's the scariest part about Margaret, to be honest with you. She's just body horror. She encapsulates body horror, like, perfectly, and the uncanny valley of her design. She's just a creepy old bitch, okay? I don't know what other way I can say this. That's basically all I can tell you about her. Margaret has collapsed, and with Margaret down, we can grab her lantern and head back upstairs, as we now have one of the pieces of the puzzle. So, as we enter this place, the entire room feels like, I don't know, something's fucking with us. There's like a little girl haunting us the entire time. And then we find the body of a girl, and also a piece to the puzzle. This is one of the ingredients we need to make an antidote, so we pick up the arm and get out of here. With the arm in hand, we do see some creepy jump scares of little girls and stuff, before rushing quickly back towards the trailer. Of course, there's gonna be some enemies in the way, but once we get there, the phone is ringing again.
Oh my god, it's Zoe again. How many times? Hello! What you want now? Please tell me what you want, Zoe. I will go. Oh my god.
I decided that Zoe needed a timeout.
I think Harris would agree that she does need a timeout, but no, it looks like Lucas is finally the one that we're dealing with. Here's the deal with this guy. He is the psychological horror embodiment. He likes to fuck with us, and what is he doing now? Well, to access his special area, we need to go back inside of the Baker home and get our hands on 2 chips. Once we have these chips, which, by the way, there's quite a few puzzles you have to do to get them, and the house is sort of rotting away at this point, but once we have the chips, we can enter his area. And now the party starts. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, his zone is one of the most annoying ones, purely because he is booby-trapped the entire place, so you have to be very careful. If you're playing at a higher difficulty, it is pain. But because I'm playing this like an easy little bitch, it's not that difficult.
Ooh, Ethan, careful. Listen, everywhere here, these boxes and this room, everything has landmines and potentially explosives. I don't know why they do this. It's kind of interesting. Very similar to Dark Souls, where suddenly, almost halfway through game, they make objects that used to be something you could easily break or you could destroy or open, which was safe. Now it is unsafe, making you question, should I shoot this box? Should I open this box with knife or not? Because it could explode or it could have ammunition. It's very smart, very good game design. But also, where did Ethan go? Hello.
Lucas is much more different than Jack and Margaret, where Jack was brute force and Margaret was pure fucking horror. Lucas is psychological. He wants to toy with you, to break you down with games rules and traps, to try to fuck you up. Now, the first half of his section here is fighting off one of his big boy monsters. I want to call these the boomers of his challenge. But the second thing, though, is we can watch a VHS tape that we picked up called Happy Birthday. Here we get to watch Clancy, one of the fellas that ended up in this place by, let's say, accident. But essentially, we get to see Clancy solve a riddle/puzzle, which ends up with him dying in the end. And in our case, now that we've seen this VHS tape, it's kind of like a preview for what's to come.
Oh, Ethan, now I get it. See, this room, this is where Lucas likes to mess with his victims. He makes you do different puzzles, and if we do those puzzles, then he basically tortures us. Also, sorry, I'm listening to My Chemical Romance on the repeat right now. Very good music, okay? But either way, basically he tortures us in this room. He uses these VHS tapes to give us a preview of what's going to happen inside of this area so we can solve the puzzle ourselves, which is why he takes away all our items before we go in so we cannot use any items to solve the puzzle quicker, like shooting or knife or explosives. It's very smart, but I don't like this guy. Either way, let me go listen to My Chemical Romance and you figure this out.
So, the way we solve it and end up actually screwing him over is that we end up finding a way out of here without dying. And when we get to the room where he was hiding, he's ran away like the pussy that he is.
Ah, Vidi, look, he running away. What a pussy. I am telling you, it's always these ones that talk the most, but least amount of action, and they don't show themselves. These are the kind of pussies in comment sections on YouTube. Same kind of people. Ah, I see what you are doing. You're running away, little bitch.
Well, it doesn't really matter where Lucas went, because now we can finally get to Mia as well as Zoe. And as we find them, we can synthesize the actual anti-venom or the serum. However, just as we think we're out of trouble, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Jack Baker returns once again.
Zoe, get your ass.
Okay, Ethan, I am going to just ask one question. What the fuck is this? I mean, seriously, hello, how many times does this man come back alive? Like, it's a little too much.
Well, I mean, he does seem to come back a lot, but this time around, the boss battle is relatively straightforward. We just need to make sure we aim for all of the eyes on his body, which I do feel like is a very tropey thing to do in boss battles, having like really giant red spots that literally say, shoot me. It's a little cringe, but it is what it is. I think the fight in itself is fine, and once we do take him down, well, he's not fully dead. The only way to truly stop him is to use one of the anti-serums against him. That's the only way to take him down. But that also means we now only have one left to use. So, ladies, yeah, I don't know who to pick. Nah, I'm just fucking around. Of course I'm gonna choose Mia. No way I came all this way to not save her. Now, there's actually a logical reason to choose Mia, because here's the reality of it. If we chose Zoe, she, spoiler alert, kind of just dies anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Also, the canon choice is taking Mia. But there is an entire DLC centered around Zoe and her experience in the house and what happens to her that we can see if we do play the DLC. But for now, we're just gonna leave and get away with the boat. When we do escape with her, she doesn't really tell us much about what actually happened here, but eventually we run across a gigantic boat in the bayou.
Whoa, hello, why is there a massive ship in the backyard? What the fuck is this?
Well, before we have time to react, we get attacked by the creature in this place. And now we get to play as actually Mia, which is, in my opinion, totally fine. But I will say the boat section is my least favorite. Oh my god, Ethan gained a head, let's go! It does reveal a few things. For one, we are dealing with a little girl named Evelyn. Evelyn is the one who's been causing all these things to happen. And essentially, it's because she's an experiment. We get to see a flashback of Mia and what she was doing here. She was working on this experiment and trying to essentially keep Evelyn under control. But yeah, the ship section is kind of monotonous. It's one of my least favorite, but it does give a lot of context for what's happened here. And of course, we get to play as Mia, which is kind of cool.
You know, being inside the boat, it was okay, you know, like a regular Tuesday night in Vlasenica, but also, why the fuck are we still here? Hello, why are we still doing this? Can we get out of ship? Get out of Louisiana? I'm getting a little bit on my nerve now. Also, My Chemical Romance is so good, oh my god. Oh, so good music.
If we eventually get out of here and try to escape, we will release Ethan out of this giant cocoon, but Evelyn will keep Mia with her for some time. But in the power of Ethan now, we can go around a salt mine. Yeah, I don't know what it is with this game, but they do have a weird obsession with mines in Resident Evil, like just a mine shaft, a salt mine, doesn't really matter. But in this case, they have another one. It is not the most fun place to explore. It's just filled with a bunch of the molded. There's just those as enemies. But we do pick up a few weapons along the way, though, before we do enter the salt mine, like, for example, like a rocket launcher. But that's not the only thing. We even hear some radio chatter, and it seems like the military or something like Umbrella Corporation may or may not be in the area as well. And of course, we want to find them. We need some help from them because, let's be honest, any of this shit would have probably been caused by them to begin with, so of course they'd be here. But nonetheless, the actual salt mine itself, again, mostly just molded. That's the only enemy type we do encounter.
You see, guys, when a game has a tunnel as a level, basically it is a metaphor for birth, rebirth, and death. Understand how you come out of birth canal? Just like tunnel. And it's supposed to represent you being reborn. And this is Ethan being reborn. Or the developers just got lazy and made a tunnel instead. I don't know.
But we do eventually find some further details. There's an entire research lab which explores quite a few things. Like, for example, it explains what the experiment is, how they put it together. And we can even make another antidote here. An antidote that we can use against Evelyn, because we need to stop her. The girl is obviously, well, crazy. That's like the easiest way I can put this without sounding too rude. She is kind of insane, and it kind of makes sense because she was born from a virus. She is essentially only known this life. She wanted a family, but she just went about getting a family in the most fucked up way possible. However, if we get through the tunnels and make our way upwards, we will actually reach the Baker house again somehow. And suddenly, we're going to be going through a bunch of hallucinations. We'll be seeing flashbacks, and these flashbacks essentially reveal to us that when Mia was attacking us at the start of the game, when she was going all insane, psycho, it wasn't her doing it of her own volition. It was actually Evelyn whispering into her ear the entire time, essentially making her do it, which does kind of clear Mia for, well, chopping off her hand, stabbing us, punching us, throwing us, all that kind of shit. It kind of justifies it somewhat, I would say. Nonetheless, though, if we make it all the way upstairs, we'll uncover that Evelyn is here. Now, we have to keep pushing towards her, like, essentially she'll just keep blasting us with shockwaves, but if we get all the way close to her, we can inject her with the serum, and it's revealed that she was the old lady all along. I personally think it's a cool twist. I mean, most people know it by now, and it's kind of evident after a while, because if you really think about it, nobody ever brings Grandma up. Like, nobody mentions, oh, what about Grandma? Everybody always mentions, whether it's Zoe or anyone else, they always talk about, Jack, Margaret, like Mom and Dad and brother, but nobody says Grandma. Nobody brings her up. Nobody even talks to her at the table. It's cool to see how she essentially has been just there in the background the entire time watching us. It's creepy, cool, it's such a small detail, but now we have to take her down. And since this is Resident Evil, of course the final boss battle is going to be a giant monster that we have to defeat with a, single shot weapon essentially. And that's exactly what we do. Taking her down, we can make our escape and get out of here. And that's it. We managed to get away. We saved Mia, we saved ourselves, and we got away from the Bakers. I mean, to be fair, it is a happy ending, I guess you could say, though at the end of the day, an entire family is now gone, essentially. Jack, his wife, his son, his daughter, they were all cursed to die in this place. And not because they chose to do it, they were just good people trying to help out when they saw, well, a poor girl drowning by the bayou, only to end up being infected, essentially losing their lives. And that's what this game really does when it stands out to me, and why I think it's a game that genuinely did quite a few things. For one, it is the most terrifying Resident Evil, without a doubt. The fact they mixed in so many different types of horror, like 4 different types of horror with 4 different types of bosses, it's really incredible. But also, the mere fact that this game decided to throw itself in such a deep end, trying to go away from the Resident Evil formula, which, to be fair, has always consisted of like third-person camera view or fixed camera views, with horror being a big element, but generally speaking, the horror was usually zombie horror, which is a little less frightening for most people, right? It's not as creepy as some of the stuff we see in RE7, and I think RE7 did this as a gamble, trying to reinvent the franchise a little bit to try to lead it in a different direction, and I think that's why it tried to almost not destroy the franchise inherently, but it had to destroy the foundations that were there somewhat to build something new, and I think it did a good job, and with that was able to save the franchise from Resident Evil 6, which was a game that leaned too heavily into being an action flick and very little horror, actually. So this was a great way to get back into form, and the only game now that can possibly beat this one out, it's probably going to be Resident Evil 9, because that game looks terrifying as well. But yeah, that was the most terrifying Resident Evil game that I think they've ever made, and that's it for me for this video. Big thank you again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. It's free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile, and use the link in my pinned comment in the description to sign up. Of course, new players and returning players who haven't played in 6 months will be getting a massive bonus pack if they use my link. Multiple premium vehicles, the Eagle of Valor Decorator, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium. It's limited time, so grab it now, and I'll see you on the battlefield. But yeah, that was it for today's video, guys. Again, cannot wait to cover one or more of these games, and a few last words from, of course, our friend Harris.
So, to tell you my opinion on the game, my experience, and my vacation in Louisiana, I would say 10 out of 10. Very similar to home, so I think it was okay. But Ethan, I think he's not totally nine in the head. He's a little bit crazy, but that's fine. That is not a problem, okay? Other than that, I had a good time. Thank you to the Baker family for letting me in their house. Thank you to Zoe for constantly disturbing me on the phone. Fucking bitch. Also, a big thank you to Mia for showing me how I can defend myself against my wife if she ever gets a chainsaw.